Just got back from a 3 hour train journey down from Newcastle, 3 hour train journey back from Liverpool. Frustrating afternoon at Goodison Park, reflecting on Everton nil, Aston Villa nil. Hello and welcome to the Villa Park podcast. It's me, Rich, and I'm back with your match reaction. Not quite an instant match reaction. As I said, I've just been travelling back from Goodison Park back up to sunny old Newcastle, or freezing cold Newcastle, and thought I'd jump on the video just to give you a match reaction to today's frustrating 0-0 draw against Everton. But do please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are smashing our way through 3,200 subscribers on the road to 4,000 subscribers. So please do help us get there. Like, subscribe, and comment down below your thoughts on today's performance. I'm going to give my thoughts. There's been a few I've checked on, social media. Obviously, people who watched it on TV maybe get a different view of it than at Goodison Park. It's not the greatest of views at Goodison Park, I have to say. Obviously, really good atmosphere, and as always, the Villa away fans did produce a really good atmosphere, but not the best of views. But I thought today, the defense did their job in terms of keeping a clean sheet, but for me, the attacking players were left a lot to be desired. If I'm being honest, not enough risk taking, not enough from any of them up in their attacking positions, and ultimately, we didn't do enough to win the game, and that's that's a little bit of a sad state of affairs. Obviously, the start in terms of our starting lineup, strong starting lineup, but Pau Torres not in the matchday squad. Jacob Ramsey not in the matchday squad. I'm not too sure why that was the case. If anyone in the comments can let us know, but still a strong side, obviously. Evzy Konsa in at right back, Carlos and Longley and Moreno across the back. Martinez obviously in goal. Luis Kamara. McGinn, Diaby, Bailey, and Ollie Watkins. So, plenty of pace. We thought plenty of mobility, but ultimately, even in that first half, we didn't really see too much of us being able to get on the ball and make those passing movements work. McGinn was kind of frustrated out of it, kind of muscled out of the game. Louise didn't really get involved in the game. Diaby, just not enough from Diaby in terms of picking up spaces, getting into spaces where he could receive the ball on the half turn and cause problems. Too many safe positions where he was trying to collect the ball. And Leon Bailey stuck out on that right hand side. Sometimes with Konsa playing on that right hand side, I do feel that we're wasting him. We're not necessarily giving him the ball enough as we should do to get to isolate him against that fullback. But you know, Moreno obviously scores what we thought was an excellent goal. Great finish from him, but I'm not too sure what the reason was. It was disallowed. Obviously, there's a question mark over Leon Bailey whether he was offside, a question mark over Clement Longley as to whether he was obstructing the view of Jordan Pickford. But had that gone in, maybe it would have been a different story. But again, we can't look at that as being potentially, an excuse. We didn't necessarily do enough to kind of pull and push Everton out of position and do enough to, I guess, to show our credentials. Leon Bailey had another opportunity in that first half. Really good save from Jordan Pickford. But apart from that, I can't really remember us making him make any more saves, particularly in that first half. Obviously, Calvert-Lewin had a great opportunity in that first half that that Emi Martinez saved, and then it came out on the rebound for one of the Everton players, and he I think put it wide, or maybe Martinez scrambled it out wide. But apart from that, the first half didn't really show too much, and we thought, yes, 0-0 at half time. It's a decent position to be in. We can come out second half and really show what we're made of. But credit to Everton, they stuck at it. They've got strong midfielders, obviously. Decore, Garner, Onana. Fairly physical in that midfield position. I did think in the preview that we could maybe get that overload in midfield with our four. Louise, Kamara, McGinn, Bailey, or Diaby in that midfield area could maybe outnumber them. But for me, we just didn't move the ball quick enough, and that's part of the problem. And that's the real frustration for me is we just didn't move the ball quick enough. Longley and Moreno, were getting on the ball. Kamara was getting on the ball. Louise was getting on the ball, but just not moving the ball quick enough. And to beat teams like Everton, to beat these teams that are lower in the league, in the table than us, you've got to move the ball quickly, and we just didn't do it enough. I can't recall too many opportunities in that second half that we had. We made a couple of changes. Obviously, Duran comes on for Bailey. Tielemans comes on for Diaby. Great to see Yuri Tielemans come back in. He did look busy. Um, but other than a Duran effort that just went wide, and one or two other kind of real half chances, we didn't really have a lot. I know we're talking about maybe a penalty in the first half on Diaby, but I think that's just a little bit clutching at straws. I wanted to see us really pull Everton apart, really show what we're made of, and I just didn't see it, to be honest with you. And I'm pretty frustrated about that performance. Yes, Moreno was busy. Cash was busy when he came on, but how many times did they get right to that byline and really turn Everton, to make them turn their backs on us? We didn't do it every single time. We're crossing the ball from that kind of position just on the edge of the penalty area that's in front of them. And for players like Tarkovsky and Branthwaite, that's just meat and drink to them. It's so difficult for our forward players to get on the end of anything like that. And then in the midfield, we're asking Louise, we're asking McGinn, we're asking Kamara to drive with the ball, and ultimately they're just not doing it. But to me, it's incumbent on the likes of Diaby, it's incumbent on the likes of Bailey to get on the ball and take risks. If we want to finish in those positions, dare I say it, first, second, third, fourth, you have to be taking risks in these games. And yes, Emery can say he's happy to be in this position that we're in, but I know fine well he will be disappointed that we haven't taken advantage of that game, because we just didn't do enough. Ollie Watkins, how many times is he dropping off for the ball, passing it, and then going in behind? How many times is Moussa Diaby getting the ball on the half turn and trying to run at players? How many times was Tielemans trying to beat a player when he came on? How many times is Moreno trying to take the ball down the left-hand side and getting into the byline? Zero. Zero. We didn't get in behind Everton at any point. And, players like Tarkovsky, players like Branthwaite, that's meat and drink to them. They'll take that all day. So yes, we can say the defense did their job. It's good to get a clean sheet, but for me, I'm asking the forward players to do what they're paid to do, and that is to create chances and score goals. That's it. That's it. Create chances and score goals. And ultimately, we didn't do that. We didn't create enough. I think we had one big chance in the whole game. Emi Martinez on FOTMOB gets the man of the match, and that's because of the key save that he made in the first half. The whole game, there wasn't a great deal of opportunities throughout the whole game. We had 16 shots, 5 on target, one big chance missed. We had 454 passes. We dominated possession, and yet again, it's this ability to break this low block that teams will come up against Villa with. They know how to nullify us, and we can't seem to break it down. It's time for players like Bailey. It's time for players like Diaby. It's time for players like Tielemans to step up and show that they can they can break these teams down, whether it's a shot from distance, whether it's taking a man on, whether it's dropping the shoulder and getting a foul, whatever it is, you've got to take risks, because if we want to maintain our position in this league, you have to take risks to win games. And ultimately today, we just didn't do it. And yeah, I can't really say too much about what happened in the game, because there wasn't a great deal that happened. Yes, fair enough. Like I say, Moreno could have scored in the first half. Maybe that could have been given, but you think, well, you can create that opportunity, but second half we just didn't do enough. And I'm scratching my head as to whether Watkins is that striker who can really come up trumps for us to get us in that top four position, whether Musa Diaby can really capture that form that he had at the start of the season. Hopefully he can, but this 2 week break now, let's make sure that we kind of use this game as a learning curve to show that we can beat these teams that will come and sit and defend against us and let us have the ball, because we can't, there's so many teams that have done it now this season that we can't seem to break down. We've got to find a way of breaking them down. Um, that's it from me though, guys. You let me know your thoughts in the comments. Frustrating one for me. Really good day as always. Really good to see loads of Villa fans, and great to see people who watch the podcast. And yeah, great atmosphere in the away end, even though the view isn't fantastic. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Help us on the road to 4,000 subscribers. We'll be back with Fans Forum. Talking Tactics with Gareth will be back, so make sure you tune into that. I'm sure he's got a lot to say about that. But yeah, we've plenty of shows in the week as well, so stay tuned to the channel. And as always, remember, we all follow the Villa. Thanks, everyone.